So I finally decided to build a new stand for my aquarium. If you've seen my old stand, it was basically an wooden box. On top of that, I had kept my 3 feet stand. I was lucky enough that the table was exactly 3 feet by 15 inches. That's the dimensions of my 3 feet tank. So it's quite lucky that that was the size. So I had kept it on that stand for a good 2 years on that same box. And I finally decided, okay, fine, let me get a stand now, a metal stand. So I was like, when I was building the stand, I'd given an order for the stand. I thought, in future, if I want to add a new tank, I can add it at the bottom. So I told the guy that I need a level at the bottom as well, so that I can keep a tank at the bottom as well. That was my initial plan. And 2 days after that, I decided that, okay, fine, I'll build a new tank as well. So usually, basically what happens is people first get a tank and then get the fish. I did the opposite thing. I got the fish and then got the stand and the tank for the fish. So I contacted Tanzim from Tanz Aquatics. He told me that there was a new stock coming. It was still not landed in India. So he told me that the new stock is coming tomorrow. That is the day I asked him. He told me the next day the stock is coming, and he sent me I think 50-60 videos, and I had to give him my budget range, and he sent me some 50-60 videos in that price range. And after that, I selected one fish that I really liked. I told him, keep this fish, I'll come pick it up. And the very next day I went to his place, his farm, and I picked up that fish, but I didn't pick up one fish. I ended up getting 2 fishes. So I got the fish, I came back home, I put them in the tank for so that the temperatures of the bag and the tank matched, and let them acclimatize for at least 15 to 20 minutes. And then after that, I added them to the tank. I removed them from the bags and I added them to the tank. Both were absolutely beautiful. You have to keep in mind that the fish was in Indian waters, so not less than, I think it was around 14 hours in Indian waters, that's it. And it had shifted from his aquarium to my aquarium, and I had to go to transport. The fish was under a lot of stress, both the fishes. And I think after 2 days, I fed both of them. One of them ate, the red one ate, but the other one, which had a little lighter color, he didn't eat. I was not that alarmed about it because he's still in stress. Probably 2 days, 3 days went. He started getting weaker. He stopped eating. He was super stressed. What I decided to do was, since the partition was a glass partition, I didn't put masking tape on it. I generally put a masking tape. Since it was in stress, I wanted them to come out of stress as soon as possible. What I thought is, I'll remove the masking tape and then put the divider. So now I removed the divider again outside. I put the masking tape again on the divider. I shifted the fish from the right side to the left side because on the right side there's too much movement. So whenever people are walking in my home, the fish on the right side of the tank can see them the most, and that's where the fish was initially. So I shifted them to the left side where there is less movement of people, where I couldn't see people, and I put a masking tape on the divider. Again, 3-4 days went by, nothing happened, and I saw white poop. After 2 or 3 days, I saw white poop at the bottom of the tank. So I immediately removed him. I put him in a hospital tank. I started his deworming procedure. I did that. Nothing. He got even weaker. Nothing happened. I tried everything. And after that, I contacted Matthew from Zion Horn Factory. And Matthew sent me a few medicines. And he asked me to dose it appropriately, and asked me to give him updates frequently. Every single day I had to call him up and give him the updates of the fish, how the fish was doing. And a few days passed by, still no improvement. He asked me to add some hiding place in the tank. I added hiding place after a water change, and he asked me to dose the tank again. I dosed the tank again with medication. No change. Left him again for 2 days, and then Matthew asked me if I have a tank at the top level, like somewhere around the chest or head level tank. So I told yes. So he asked me to shift the fish to the top tank. So I shifted him to the top tank, and I saw change. He was fighting with the other fish in the tank. He was coming out of stress a bit, but he was still scared when I was around the tank. When I was not around, he was swimming freely. He was doing his thing. He was chilling out. but it was still in stress whenever I would come in front of the tank or come to feed the other fishes. He'd get scared, he would stop eating. So that was the thing. But the thing I have to say over here is it's not my fault that the fish was in stress. It's not the seller's fault. Just that the fish had to go through a lot of traveling, a lot of stress, and then he had to come and he switched waters twice. So he didn't get time to settle in one place and then go to another place and then chill out. So it's not the seller's fault. It's not my fault. He didn't give me a sick fish, nothing as such. So after a few days of adding him into the top tank, and he started eating. He was eating fine. He was not eating in huge quantity. He was eating a pellet or two, but still it was way better than what that. So this entire process took 3 weeks, 2.5 to 3 weeks. This entire process was. He didn't eat for 2.5, 3 weeks in my home. I don't know when was the last time he was fed before he was shipped here. I'm not sure when he ate. Now, after adding the parrot fish to the tank, I immediately started seeing changes in the fish. His color was getting brighter, his head was pumping, he was more active, he was interactive, he was not getting that scared. So, the meantime, my stand arrived, my aquarium stand. Finally, after 2 or 3 weeks, it came. And after it came home, it was rocking. It was not stable, it was rocking. So, what I had to do was I went upstairs. There was a piece of wood upstairs. I took a saw and I measured the exact amount of wood I needed it. I think it was around half a centimeter. So I cut the wood and I placed it under the stands, one of the leg. If I wanted to remove the tank from the existing table and put it under a metal stand, put it on a metal stand. So I purposely didn't change the water. And after 2 weeks, I did a 70% water change. I threw the 70% of the water. I stored the 30% of the water, kept the fish in a bucket. And then with the help of my sister, I removed the tank out. And then I took the existing thermocol, cut it in the exact size, and I tried placing it inside the aquarium stand. I filled it up. I put the existing 30% water which I had stored up. So I put that and I added 70% new water, and the next day I added the new tank on the top. I did only a 50% fill on that tank. I just wanted to check if the tank was leaking or not. I just wanted to add the water gradually. So, and after 2 days I noticed that the bottom tank was tilting towards the back. So I didn't know that. I didn't notice it earlier, and I was feeding, I think, and that's when I noticed it. So I bent down and I saw under this tank what's happening. So what had happened was the thermocol sheet, because of the weight, it had compressed and it had tilted. At least there was at least a 15 to 20 degree tilt at the backside. So that generally is not a good thing. The thing is, when you are keeping an aquarium, you're putting water in an aquarium, you want the aquarium to be flat so that the pressure is evenly distributed on all the walls of the aquarium, all the panels. So, but if the pressure is slightly more on one panel, what might happen is the silicone might break and the water might start leaking, or the glass might crack. So, what I did was, as soon as I found this, I did a 40% water change. I kept 60% inside, and then I saw that okay, fine, still 60% of water was too much. So I drained another 20% water. So totally I removed 60% of the water, and I had kept 40% of the water in the tank. So I left this thing, and the next day I got 2 plywood sheets, one for the top tank, one for the bottom tank. I got 2 new thermocol sheets. The bottom aquarium by 50% and the top aquarium by 50%, and I left it off for 2 days. And initially at that point of time, I didn't do anything to the tank. I just left it off. I had added the fish again in the whole tank because I didn't have anywhere else to keep the fish. So after adding the new tank at the top, what I decided to do was I just added 50% of the water just to see if it was moving front to back, if it was still level or not. It was level, but still just in case. So it was time to set up the new tank. So for heating the tank, I went with this RS Electricals 300 watt water heater. I really don't recommend buying RS Electricals. So I'll tell you the problem I had with this heater. So after placing this heater and turning it on, the next day morning I tested the temperature. It was hot. Fish would have died inside. That's how hot it was. I'd set the temperature at 30 degree. I'm pretty sure it was way over 34 degrees Celsius. I'm pretty sure. So I lowered it down to 28. And then after half a day, I saw it was still warm. So I lowered it down to 26. and then the temperature was somewhere around 29 degree to 28 degree. So these heaters are not calibrated properly. So I would recommend staying away from these heaters. I will obviously change this heater and change it to a better heater in the coming few days. But for time being, this was the only heater I could find available in 300 watts. This is a glass heater. It's not a stainless steel heater. I've never used the stainless steel. I might use it in the future, but I'm not sure. And then for the filtration, I went with the trusty sponge filter. I went with the biggest one they had at store. This is 380. So this is the 380 one. So it's really nice. So what I did with this filter is I took this filter and added it in an existing tank for around 2 weeks so that the filter would start cycling. And I already had a seed filter running for around 2 months in another tank. So I added both those filters in the new tank so that there is bacteria already inside the tank. So I did all of this, and to power all these filters, I ended up getting a newer air pump, the Sobo 988. It's a 4-way air pump. It's a 12-watt air pump, I believe. Yeah, it's a 12-watt air pump. I had exactly the same one, but in 8 watts around 2 years ago. Worked perfectly fine for around 2.5 years. It worked fine, absolutely fine. And after that, after this pump failed, the 8-watt pump which I had previously, after that failed, I got this air compressor, which is horrible. I don't recommend anyone buying this. So this is Boyu's ACQ001. So I let the new tank cycle for around 3 days already. Obviously it had old beneficial bacteria in it, so I was really not worried about adding bio load in the tank. So after that, I added the fish inside the tank, the poop fish which I had gotten from Tanzim, I think around 2 months ago. I added that fish. That very same day, I received the smart plug. So I ordered this smart plug off of Amazon so that I could control my lights. I could keep my lights on a timer so that they automatically turn on at a particular time and turn off at night. So I really needed this one. So all of my lights are connected to this timer. It's Wi-Fi controllable. I can control it through my phone. So that is really nice. It's a really nice thing. It's a must thing to have. I think I paid around 550 rupees. I think for this 550 rupees it's worth. So after spending around 5,000-6,000 rupees on all of these things, I finally achieved the look I was visioning for. I have to get 2 new backgrounds. I'm planning to get blue backgrounds, blue vinyl backgrounds for my tanks. I have 2 tanks with white backgrounds and 2 are empty with no backgrounds. So I'm planning to get blue. I think I'll get blue or black. It depends. I'm not sure if I'll get black. I'm sticking towards the lighter blue shades. I've never tried that. So I might try getting lighter blue shades. Thank you so much for watching the video till the end. Make sure you like the video and please do hit that subscribe button and support the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.